What you have is already enough. In a peaceful village nestled between green hills and golden fields, there stood a small wooden cottage at the edge of the land. That cottage belonged to an elderly woman named Yami. Her home was simple, worn with time, and filled with quiet memories. Years ago, her husband had passed away, and she had no children. But she was not lonely. Yami had Chicky, a little hen with warm brown feathers and a round, fluffy body. Chicky was not like other hens. She followed Yami everywhere, waddling gently at her side, as though guarding her like a loyal companion. Villagers often smiled when they saw them together, Yami walking slowly with her cane and Chicky clucking softly at her heels. Every morning, just as the sky turned a soft blend of pink and orange, Chicky would lay a single egg. Yami would pick it up carefully, holding it in her wrinkled hands with the tenderness one might hold a newborn's breath. Then she would whisper with a smile, "One is enough, my dear. May we always have just what we need." She would boil the egg, eat half for breakfast, and save the other half for lunch. She grew her own vegetables, spun her own yarn, and lived a life of quiet simplicity. Steady, slow, but full of calm joy. Then, one morning, something unexpected happened. Chicky laid 2 eggs. Yami blinked in surprise, looking at the pair nestled together in the straw. 2 eggs? My, you are generous today, she chuckled. She cooked one for herself and took the second to the market. She didn't ask for much, just enough to buy a handful of rice and a small piece of jaggery. That became her new routine. The next day, Chicky laid 2 eggs again, and then again, and again, day after day. Soon, the villagers began to notice. "Sell both eggs," someone said. "Feed Chicky more. Maybe she'll lay 3, said another. "Why not raise more hens? You could start a real business." But Yami simply smiled, her eyes kind and steady. "One for me, one to share, that's enough," she said. And that's what she did. She would eat 1 egg and give the other to someone who needed it. A poor neighbor, a child passing by, or sometimes quietly left on someone's doorstep without a name. People began to call her Egg Yami, with affection. Then the monsoon came. Rain poured for days. The river overflowed. Crops were lost. Firewood was soaked. And most hens in the village stopped laying eggs. Except for Chicky. Faithful and calm, she continued to lay 1 egg in the morning and 1 in the evening. Yami, always modest and careful, had preserved many of the eggs she didn't need, boiling them, pickling them, storing them for later. Now, as hunger crept into homes and hope seemed scarce, Yami quietly shared her eggs with those in need, without asking, without waiting, just giving gently, naturally. One day, a group of villagers came to her home. "Why didn't you sell more when you had the chance?" they asked. "Why didn't you try to make more money?" Yami looked up at them with her gentle, time-worn eyes. Then she spoke softly. "Sometimes having more isn't about chasing more. It's about loving what you already have and giving from it when the time comes." She looked down at Chicky, who clucked softly and nestled against her foot. "I only took what I needed. The rest was a gift meant to be shared." No grand philosophy, no dramatic speech, just a quiet truth, lived gently every day. And in that moment, the villagers understood. In a world that often screams for more things, more speed, more success, Yami taught a lesson without ever raising her voice. True happiness isn't found in having everything, but in appreciating what you already have and sharing it with love. Happiness doesn't need to be loud to be real. Contentment has roots strong enough to weather any storm.